Hello and welcome to another edition of the GH Spotlight and Recap here on JLJ Media. I am the JLJ of JLJ Media, James Lott Jr. And joining me as always, my partner in all things Port Charles, Frank Moran.
We're partners now. I like it.
After 7 years, Frank, I thought it must be time to commit.
Finally, you're making an honest man about me.
Yes, finally. On that note, folks, follow, subscribe, like, whatever, tweet, whatever my show. This is your number one show on this network. So thanks for keeping it that way. Audio and video. So we're everywhere you want us to be or not want us to be, one of the two. We're there, whether you like it or not. We're on Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Podchaser, Podcast, what all those things are. We're there. We're all over the place under GH Spotlight. We're on YouTube under GH Spotlight. We're on Facebook under GH Spotlight too. So wherever, just follow us wherever. You'll get the idea of what's going on. People are going to start coming in. They're going to start coming in. As I went to, I did all day today. I'll tell you, it was Soap Sunday. I dedicate all my shows today to my late dog Scrabble and my grandmother Susie. Both died a day apart 4 years ago today. So I want to give a shout out to them, and I miss them both very much. Also, we had the Wine Army Spotlight this morning. We laughed, we cried, we held hands and braided hair. That is out right now, both audio and video. So go ahead and check that out wherever you get your wine art goodness. Then we did the Bone Beautiful Spotlight, where we talked about Sheila's return. Sheila is back. That's right, kids. We talked about that, and that's out on video here on YouTube under Bone Beautiful Spotlight Recap. And then I had a very fun, informative conversation with the child star from Kung Fu, the original Kung Fu, the one on CW, the original Kung Fu with David Carradine, and also he played Mary Ingalls' boyfriend on Little House on the Prairie. I talked to him, Guadamus Para, that's his name. I talked to him for an hour and a half. We had a great conversation about Danny Bonaducci, Walter Goggins, Jodie Foster, David Carradine, Michael Landon. He tells you everything, what happened to him on the Lost on the Prairie, why he left the business, why he is back, and his mother, who's a hoarder. We talked about that. So that's out now. That's Extra Connections with James Lott Jr. and Rodimus Para. That's out now also. So I had a very full day today, Frank. Very full.
Look at you. I once irritated David Carradine on a project that we worked on together. Yes, so much so that he put his hand right in front of my face and said, "Hush." So good times.
That's crazy. Oh my God.
Good times.
May he rest in peace. Right. He's not here anymore to do that. He can't put his fan in your face anymore. No, but his brothers are here. They're very talented too. Keith and Robert. They're very talented, and one's an Oscar winner for a song for Nashville. I mean, there's a lot of talent in that family. So that's very cool, Frank.
There you go. Yep. Just my camera guys just said, "Man, you pissed off Kung Fu." That's how it ended. There we go. I'm like,
and and Frank, your job is done.
That's right.
I mean, sorry, Grasshopper. So that's I like that. That's good. So we're gonna start off as people come in. We're gonna start off with a little chatter. We don't do news and gossip like we used to. We do make some news. We don't do a lot of news and gossip. But there's some things that I want to mention that are they're oh my God, Frank. That's really funny. I mean, how random is that though? I mentioned David Carradine. That's what you get. But everybody, come on in. The water's fine. We need water because it's hot here in LA. There's just some things that happened. Number one, I want to give a very special happy birthday to our friend Kathleen Gotti. It's her birthday. It was yesterday, but the whole weekend. I told her we celebrated the whole weekend. So we love Kathleen. She's been on our show so many times over the years, in person on this platform. She's been around a lot. So I want to give a shout out to Miss Kathleen Gotti. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes. And also, Jeannie Francis says she's taking the summer off. She's doing a very Luke-like thing, apparently, that Tony Geary did, had in his contract. She's taking the summer off, but she will be back, she said. So we're seeing her. We saw her this week. We're going to see her a little bit, I think, next week, and that's it. So let's get ready for that.
But it's also like, it's really late in the summer to be taking the summer off. Like, why wasn't this announced much sooner?
Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird, but she'll be back, folks. She's not going away for long. She'll be back. She was needed this last week. We saw her, and it was good. Also, the big main story, you guys. Steve Burton tested positive for COVID, and he said he got it from set.
Yeah.
So, and
we did see Nancy Lee Grahn going buck wild on the Twitter.
Yes, she
about,
did.
About people having to work with people that aren't vaxxed. But William Lipton got that shout out because he's vaxxed, and he got that happy birthday shout out from her, which I did like.
Yes, exactly. But she told everybody, and that she works with unvaxxed people. So, and Hollywood is shutting down right now. They're really cranking down on this whole vaccine. First, we've always been doing COVID testing, but now the vaccination thing is happening. These sets are very small. I've been on some of these sets. They're very small, and there's a lot of people on sets. Yes, they need that. So that's very interesting news. And Laura Wright, because of all this stuff, is taking time off from Twitter, she said, you guys are so negative, she can't do it anymore. And so she is going to be taking time off. Screw you all, and I'll see you next time in the future.
Yeah. With a co-signed by your boy, Wes Ramsey.
Oh, you both can go off. You can both go off. That's fine with me. So, I mean, take some time off, girl. We all got to take time off sometimes. So that's kind of how that works. But yes, it said from set. Yes, they said from set. He said he got it from set. So we got to figure out what's going on. And Nancy Grahn is pushing for SAG-AFTRA to have better things in place to make sure this does not happen again, which is true. They were the first ones to go back to work. So they need to kind of figure this out.
I did like how she's like, hey, if this was Meryl Streep, you guys would be getting on this right now. But I paid just as much as Meryl Streep. So
and Frank, that's true. That's true. You know that's true. You know that's true.
Trust and believe.
I was gonna say that. Trust and believe. She's telling the truth. She is telling you to shame the devil. Also, I just want to give a nice shout out to the end of Monday's episode. He did a nice little montage to Stuart Damon, who played Alan. That was a nice surprise. Didn't expect that.
Yes.
Nice surprise. Almost wish they did a little more because he's such a major character on the show. But I will take that. Great scenes, great character. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean, they at least an article that I read said that they were going to do a more fitting tribute.
Oh, they're going to? Okay, I can read that. They're going to? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but always interesting when it's a character that is, already deceased within the show, how you handle that. So,
yeah.
I bet you will see the Quartermain mausoleum and Sex Palace. So
it's mausoleum / Sex Palace, yes. Where I get turned on when I'm in there. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but that's how it is. So I mean, I get it. You look at Avery. So everyone, I want to tell you, we were asking Lucretia Lyon couldn't make it today. She does miss us. We love her to death. She'll be back at some point. She'll come on. Sometimes we go away, come back. That's just what happens. And it turns out, Frank, the announcement I was going to make has changed. We'll be back next week.
All right.
Some work-related things came up that are really good for me. So that's why I will be here. And right now, Frank, you actually are frozen on screen. We can hear you.
I've seen that, and I'm just looking at it. I was like, yep, I froze. So we're just gonna look at
like last time. Yeah, do it
with my very contemplative face there. All right.
Yes, it's fine. At least it didn't mess up in a weird space. No. But it's like, he's frozen. Okay, sure. So we're gonna just keep it going, folks. Who cares? We're gonna do it.
Yeah, and I see with Jeannie Francis taking the time off, there's still these things about how they're gonna get rid of, or they're gonna end possibly Laura and Kevin's marriage, and I'm not here for it.
No, none of us are. We do not want it to happen. We're hoping that it's just all rumor and conjecture and everything. All those legal terms they say, and I don't know what they mean. I hope that's what it is, and not the truth.
I would love to feel like ABC Daytime has got the kind of money like an MCU film where they can put out dummy scripts to throw people off the set, but I can't imagine that's happening with GH.
No.
So.
especially when they're cutting scenes. All these films have been cutting scenes recently, which they don't do very often, but they've been doing that recently. I was like, oh, you're cutting scenes. That's interesting. But yes, I've heard. Yeah, and we had Kevin this week, so that's what's very interesting.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about all of that, and now we get into our show. So here we go. I'm gonna mention one thing right out the back that I thought this was actually very interesting. I almost said it like South Park. They killed Lenny. They killed Lenny. They actually did it. I thought they might. I didn't really think they were going to, but they killed him.
This happened much faster than I was anticipating. If it was going to happen at all, I thought like, are they going to pull out some last minute, cancer victory in Port Charles? But no. This is. I was like, oh, hot damn! All right.
I know you were happy. Okay. I mean, you know, happy they died, but because you're right, because I thought it'd go on for a little while. It would bring it to stuff. I mean, it was like he sat outside in the sun, and that was it. And I will say the scene with it was touching. The scene with what's her name?
Phyllis.
Phyllis. When she broke down with him outside, I thought that was sad. But they killed him. They're like, that's it. So now, what are we gonna do?
It was interesting. I'd say like, oh, we should really open up. I'm like, really, for who? Because does anybody really come to the Tano? But
they had some people. They had some people a few weeks ago, remember? And they were like, "Oh my God, we're eating here now." But they had a few people there.
I really wanted people to show up as Lenny was just sitting out there out front in his chair, just
Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad. You know, Frank has ice in his veins.
I do. I'm dead inside, everybody.
Dead inside. Sorry, dead inside. But it's just. I mean, he's gone. So now I'm just really curious what's going to happen with the storyline now, because now Phyllis is by herself.
I mean, I read rumors. I'm sure you maybe have heard rumors that possibly they're setting up the idea that maybe Portia is, Phyllis's daughter, perhaps, as Phyllis mentioned that she had lost her daughter, but lost could have perhaps meant given up for adoption or something.
Yes.
So who knows? Maybe.
There are a lot of folks who were talking about them being related to Stella. That storyline just never finished up, never went anywhere. There's a lot of black folks there that she could be related to. I guess that's the point.
It seems like they at least have they want to do more with Phyllis, which I'm all for.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
she's good. Weekend at Lenny's, at Frank. That's funny. Peace out, Lenny. Yeah, no, he was good on it. They were good actors. Just say again, we talked about this weeks ago. We thought they were going to integrate them into General Hospital somehow. That didn't work out. But now Phyllis can. She's a nurse, so Phyllis can. But that whole thing's going to be, Frank, the Sunny factor for Nina.
Yeah.
I mean, she's going to want to go back. Phyllis go with her, but Mike can't go with them.
I feel like the only thing is because at some point everybody's got to end up back in Port Charles.
Yes.
For all this to blow open, but I feel like Nina is going to be, once the truth comes out, like persona non grata with everybody, except if you bring Phyllis, because I feel like Phyllis could be a safe port in everything that's crashing down around Nina when that truth comes out. So it kind of makes sense to have Phyllis there. She can be that kind of sympathetic ear, still. Kind of at least be understanding of what Nina was going through.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to see how this really actually plays out. So that's it. So that's a big major turn point for the Tano storyline. That's bad. Make sure you get that out the open now. And then the other major thing I want to bring out just right away too. Nicholas realizes Spencer is the stalker. I thought that was faster than I thought too.
Yeah, I'm glad because they make you think at the second, like, he buys Spencer's excuse.
Yes.
And I'm glad that they went back to him looking at the postmark of the letter and putting the dates together and realized, like, that son of a gun.
That son of a gun. Mm-hmm. He caught on. He was like, wait a minute, there's something not smelling right here. But I thought it was quick. They do a better job than PCPD. Should.
Yeah.
So I figure that out. I mean, it was just like, good. Nicholas is on to him. And he went straight to Ava to tell her, which is in character, of course. to do that. But I'm just so glad that it was none of this was drawn out. It was all like, here you go, here you go, here you go, bam.
Yes. And interesting. I mean, that Ava was kind of slow to accept that it was Spencer. He's like, wow, but we have a truce. We have a truce now.
Girl, you got no truce. I don't you know that was all fake. You know, and like what Kate said, Nicholas has done some shady stuff. I was surprised you figured it out. Why is this the thing? It's hard because is Spencer a true? I mean, they really did the whole week with the different characters talking about Spencer. We're giving us all, you know, we know him of course, but new people who are watching the show. We're all kind of like giving us a background of what Spencer could be. That he was spoiled, no mother, had food in the house. He did some things when he was young. The whole Trina and conversation with Joss, Britt making her conversation. I mean, there's a lot of conversations going, and then them showing him being a little sensitive when he's with Trina. But I also thought the surprise of the week was him and Cameron. They expect those conversations. They never talk like that. It was like I actually appreciated Cameron the way he was talking to him.
I liked it. I mean, I feel like that needs to happen for the Spencer character to at least make him just kind of, if you're going to keep him on the canvas and be seen a lot, you've got to make him at least able to have like basic human interactions. And so I'm glad that we had a conversation like that to say, yeah, okay, Spencer can do this, and you know, he can still have his moments of being a total knucklehead. Yeah. But yeah, at least have him have some genuine moments of human connection sometimes.
Well, you know, you're right. They need that for the character because anybody who's written too cartoonish, you know, we get, you know, that's it. But I think, you know, with Cameron, I kept waiting for them to kind of talk like, you know, it's like two dudes talking. It's like, and you're just trying so hard. This whole party thing, it was so kind of realized that he's trying. And the party, it looked boring already.
Well, do you have your VIP bracelets, James?
Oh my God. I was like,
make sure you have them. You gotta have your VIP bracelets.
I know, okay, Frank, I know that stuff is for real. I know the VIP thing is for real, but that party looks so boring already. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, but he was trying so hard. I'm like, yes, I can see why Cameron was just like, dude, calm down.
That is where like the realities of a daytime General Hospital budget come into play, because if you have a character talk about like how this is going to be so epic, like a bacchanalia, and we're going to do so many crazy things, you don't have the budget to be able to put up a party like that.
Yeah, all these crazy things.
We're not going to see like the Cassadine like ballroom or courtyard like all you know set up with bands and DJs and you know weird ice sculptures.
Yes, ice sculptures like that. Yeah, it was just very interesting that was but still that was a nice talk. And Trina and Josh talked like girlfriends. And she was like, I'm not gonna tell you not to see him, but let me just tell you there's the stuff he done did. But he was like, hey, and she mentioned the corn, which I thought was kind of funny. She dressed the corn. Former act wasn't her, it was another actress, but I love that before. So I love that kind of mention. But I just want to make sure I get that, you know, this solstice chic party. Whatever. And somebody's watching them because go ahead.
That is all right. Solstice chic, as Spencer says, that's the look. So he admonishes Cameron for that.
Yes.
I'm not really going to take that kind of commentary from a guy that's just wearing a windbreaker. That's all. He's just wearing a windbreaker. Whoa, is that really solstice chic, Spencer? Just a windbreaker?
I know.
Inside, you're wearing a windbreaker. Get out of here with your saying Cameron's not good enough with his shirt.
Yes, exactly. It was just, yes, it's a little much, but anyway. And I know I'm gonna say something that's very unpopular. I'm gonna say it right now. I like to rile feathers. Is it rile feathers? Rile feathers. I'm gonna say very unpopular right now. Am I seeing chemistry between Spencer and Britt? Is there something naughty brewing? Like it's like. Or they're just super friendly, like they're just like because he's grown up now. Like they were always close, and he says, "I want you with my father." But I'm like, they're both in like swimwear at the pool. I'm like, you know, he's 18. He is 18, folks. He is 18, and she's probably in her 30s. And she kept talking about how you're Gen Z. I'm like, I don't know, like this, they keep chuckling a little too well together. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I'm seeing the beginnings of something that's down the line.
Yeah, I can't say that I haven't seen that as well either. And I don't know if part of it is just because they're now more, Spencer's of an age where like that could be a possibility.
Right.
And so they're joking around now has that kind of overlay onto it.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I could see Spencer now that he's older having like a crush on Britt for sure. I don't know if Britt would go for his, as in whatever kind of space she is right now with Huntington's and the fallout from Jason. I don't know that she would put herself in that position to kind of get involved at like getting involved with an 18-year-old. I think she would realize how much of a mistake that would be.
She slept with Jax. Who knows what's wrong with her? I just think that she wants Jason. That's who she wants.
Yeah.
I like they're making her and Jax just friends. Like they're literally, I don't see anything happening more between them besides just friends. I really see them as just these two people who happen to sleep together. They're becoming friendly because they're on the outside of this couple. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just time stamping it now because later on, if it does happen, I can say I said it on August 15, 2021. Let's make sure if it happens.
No, well, I mean, I figure there's got to be something that happens with Britt, so that when Jason does become available, Britt is now unavailable.
Okay, so that leads my whole thing to, I'm frozen too, Annie. Oh, we're frozen. We're all frozen. Yay! I'm frozen. I'm frozen to Annie.
It's an audio drama.
Everybody. Are we both frozen? Is it both, or one of us frozen? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. It's I always see Frank is frozen, so I don't. You need it. So, but anyway, so yes. So the whole thing is going to be because Carly and Jason still haven't gotten married. So we haven't got. So I feel like you said before, Frank, we have to get to that either that ceremony or them married, and then right afterwards, Sonny shows up. So because it's an umbrella story, it's it's them, it's Sonny and Nina, it's Britt, it's Jax. I mean, it's all these parts in it. So it has to be. They have to all come together for a certain reason for it to all just kind of explode. So,
yeah, I will say I am down for like a Jax Britt friendship. It was nice that he comes over and chats with her about her issues with Jason and Carly and how that affects Jocelyn and what what's he going to do about it. So I mean, yeah, I'm cool if they want to be occasional friends with benefits, sure. But yeah, I'm fine. I was fine with that scene. And the way that Jax was just begging Jason just to do something, and then feeling like, okay, you're not really gonna do anything, are you? Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, great reference, Aisha, Nicholas and Catherine Bell. Yes, and Stefan. That whole thing. I'm saying I can see a Spencer, but see, Nicholas is in love with Ava. He doesn't want Britt. I think that ship is totally sailed. Yeah. He does not want Britt. She does not want him. I was shocked because they had chemistry before a long time ago. The characters had chemistry, but I feel like no, they're on different planes at this point. He wants Ava. That's his own, and so now he's going to play a trick on Spencer to get him. I'm curious to see what it's going to be. I'm very curious to see what it's going to be because somebody's watching them from outside the door. I am very curious to what. But I have to say, I thought of you, Frank.
Yes.
When Spencer, so Nicholas, they went by fast. Nicholas confronts, I've talked to Alexis. She's like, don't do it. He confronts Spencer right away. Spencer tells his whole story. We think he believes it. He says, I'm going to go to Dubai. Calls somebody, set me a place in the hotel. He goes, and then when Laura and Kevin show up, and Spencer goes off on Kevin, gets smart with Kevin. Woo! Laura was like, no, MFer, you will not do that. And she didn't say that. But she jumped in. And she was like, no, you are not going to do that. And she went in there and made Spencer apologize. I said, that's right, grandmother. You tell Spencer, you're not going to get that far.
But also, I just like, how can you even take Spencer sincerely when he extends his hand? Like, come on, you're so like, well, since you asked, grandmother, all right.
And I think they both get it though. I think Kevin and Laura are not dumb. They're just like, okay, he's acquiescing right now.
Yeah.
That's why he said they were going to. That's why he decided they were going to stay. Are you going out of town? We're going to stay. Good luck. That part made me laugh. I don't think it made me laugh. But Nicholas told Laura then what was going on. So now we got Kevin going off to try and see what's going on with Ryan because he does feel bad about what he did, trying to handle his brother, which I thought that's all with it. That all tracks. That's all, on brand. So I thought this is another umbrella storyline throughout that family. It affects Lulu, of course. It's a lot going on there. So I thought, okay, I don't mind that so much.
It's just, what I keep hearing, they're reading these bits where they're just saying, oh, Kevin's going to make another mistake and Laura's going to demand a divorce. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I know.
I can't. What? I'm going to be hard pressed if they decide to try to sell that story point that Kevin is also doing something even now to help Ryan out. And it's like, it really, that just seems too, that would be a very hard sell for me to buy, given how, everything that happened the last time that happened, everything that, Laura said, like, you're not doing this again. Kevin said he's not doing it again. To all of a sudden be like, oh, but guess what? He really was doing it again.
Yes. And Jax also was working it out with Jason and Brent and everything. And when he said, I don't know if this is you guys just are getting together because of grief over Sonny or a business move. They show Brent look.
Yep.
I think Jax is on to something. I think they are.
Yes. No, yeah, but it's also, even if they do know the truth, it's still not going to change anything.
Well, that's what Britt said.
Yeah.
She's still having she's still having some problems with it. So with this whole thing, and Jason just was like this pain puppy. Like, you create the problem. So if you're not going to tell her what's going on, go away. I'm like, all right, Curtis, go away.
I did like that, and I like Britt saying, not in like a haha, right. How does that feel? But just like, it does help to know that I'm not the only one, that you're feeling awful about this as well, that I'm not going through this alone.
And is it me? It could be just me. I don't know. But when I saw that kid in the high chair, I thought, I'm like, that Avery? So is Donna seem a little big for that high chair? I don't know. I had children. They weren't like that. I don't think they were that big in a high chair. I was like, who that is? Who's that?
It's spinal bifida, James. You have to be,
Oh yeah, well she grew a lot. That high chair was a little too small for her. I was like, okay.
I had read that they were going to age up Donna, and I was only imagining how old that was going to be. We're like an 8-year-old there in a high chair.
Right, exactly right. Be older than Avery just came afterwards. I don't know. I'm just like, okay, that's very interesting. That's what I gotta say about that.
One thing before we move on is the Dutch on the Jax thing. So Jax goes to Dante afterwards, happens to run into him in the hospital, and brings up his issues. And says, of course, as always, the police response is, without any evidence, we can't do anything.
Exactly.
And
Jax knew it. Jax knew it.
I know. Jax saying, that I'm going to do something about it. And I can only imagine it's going to go horribly, horribly wrong.
Of course. But Dante was like, what? What are you going to do? Like, none of your business. I'm going to take care of my own hand. I'm like, okay, that's why Jax, they can't do nothing. Dante's really trying to kiss up on Sam and deal with this other thing that's going on. Ugh.
Well, one of my least favorite scenes is when somebody can't get help from the police, and then in front of that representative of the police, they say, well, I'm going to do something about it. And then the police authority always has to say, well, what? And it's like, they're not going to tell you. They're never going to tell you what they're going to do. Why are you asking me this?
Yes. And yeah. I'm trying to go through the storylines I halfway like, because there's so many storylines we're going to tell. I'm like, oh, okay, try to get through them. Oh, one that I like.
Ooh, all right.
I like that is hilarious. Speaking of birthdays, Kathleen Gotti as Liesel and Scotty are hilarious. They are. I'm so shocked. Well, she said on the show she's probably gonna come back for some more stuff. She's waiting to hear what they have to say. They're really continuing this romance. They're continuing it.
I'd say why not? The bummer about Scotty is that he's been involved in like so many potential romances that end up just like fizzling out. Whether it's like with kind of Lucy, with Bobby, just kind of floating around. And it's like, okay, we might not have as much as I'd like to see them more. even if we're not going to see them more, still let's have a relationship between Scotty and Liesel. That's cool. I would want to see it more, but if I don't, still have them together. Don't have to break them apart.
Yeah, they're good. They're good together though. I'm glad they're showing them. Britt's response to them making out. The pool was hilarious. It was all like a comedy skit. I loved it. I thought it was just hilarious. I loved it, and I don't know. I'm seeing some Liesel's great, and Scott's got his hands in a few things. I love it. I love what he told Spencer, "If you need any help, I'm here."
Yeah.
Also, I love that too. When you need any trouble, which that's foreshadowing, right? Great foreshadowing. Heard you're formidable, lawyer. Like, something going on there. I'm sure. It's really good, and I'm still liking that. Donna is the little Donna girl's cute. I'm just saying that she looked like she was like 12. I don't know, sitting in that chair. I don't know. She looked a little old to me. I was like, yeah, my kids didn't sit in high chairs when they were that old, so I don't know what's going on. Let's see. I'm trying to avoid this one storyline, but I can't. Oh, so good. This one. This one's halfway decent. Stella's fine, folks. Stella is okay. She's recovering from the stroke. She doesn't remember everything, but she's okay. But she wants to know Frank. She demands to know what happened. And Jordan spills some of her guts.
Yeah. I need to know. I need to know.
Need to know.
Yeah, and it's just that envelope. It's something's really important, and I just can't
remember. Yes, they won't. And meanwhile, you got Kurt. All the different combinations talking. You got Curtis and you got Portia and Jordan. Which I really do wish their friendship does work out. I kind of want to have a friendship, and I felt like, and they were like, we hope it works out too. Like, I want to have a friendship.
Yeah, I agree, but also like give them this week too. The one I really would like to see more, and it really hasn't been dwelt on, is just the Ava-Portia relationship. Because the way that Ava gave that talking to with the talk with Trina, I was like, all right, I would like to see Ava and Portia have more interactions.
I agree. I totally agree. It was a great conversation. It was, and Ava's talking from experience. She's talking from extreme experience. And so I love that she was just like, girl, go talk to your mom. People are human. Things happen. I had to laugh. She's like, affairs happen sometimes. And she's like trying to explain it. Made me laugh a little bit. But no, she was right. I mean, I talked about this the other day. I just talked about on a show that I did, how we have to see our parents as humans or as adults. It's hard when you're a kid because you don't see them that way. So when you grow up, I had to do that for my parents, see them as they're adults. They're living, breathing adults that make decisions that are not the greatest, and that's life. Now that I'm a parent myself, I just know that I'm not perfect either. My kids will probably say the same thing to me, and their kids are saying that. It's kind of like it's a rite of passage because now she's 18. Trina is 18 years old, but she got Curtis. I was worried about you too. Really, Curtis? Why? Because she's your daughter. That was why you know.
That's right. I'm waiting for that whenever that bomb's gonna come out. What I did like though between that scene between Ava and Trina though is that it doesn't have to be a heated discussion, but it can just be like, whoa, you gotta, I know you as a young kid you're thinking like this, but hold on, think about the bigger picture. And I just liked the tone of that conversation at that scene. I just thought it was just really well done between the two of them, where you can have not necessarily call them on the carpet, but in a loving, supportive way. It's like, you got to think, bigger than what you're thinking right now, Trina.
Yeah, Ava and Trina great together. Trina and Portia great. I love all those scenes. They're all realistic to me. They're all very, and even Jocelyn and Carly had talk. They talked a little bit too. And so I think they were showing a lot of the parent-children stuff this week. And I say children, but they're children. They're not children, kids, children, but they're children. Very interesting. I think it's very interesting, and I think it was some of the talks were very realistic to me, and for soaked up.
And I'll be curious when, it's not a huge secret in the great scheme of things, but the fact that Trina has not told Ava that Victor is really Spencer, and that Spencer's been in town longer, even though Nicholas has kind of figured that out and let Ava know. But the fact that Trina knew and never said anything to Ava, I'll be curious to see that conversation when it does come to that point.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be interesting. And we got a Victor Castine shout out when Spencer brought that up to Liesel. And I forgot about that. They did, and she talked about Cesar and him. I thought that was a funny situation.
That's I did like her breaking it down to Scotty, Faison, Victor, and then what Scotty is. You're the stars.
Yes,
you're the stars.
I loved it, Frank. Wake up! I loved it.
Come with me to my medical conference.
Oh, jeez, I loved it. I don't know what you're talking about. We also had Sonny, in quotes, talking to Carly.
Man, I feel like that, what we were talking about last week is I could see them going this way, where Carly's willing to go into this relationship and make it more of a loving, romantic relationship, and Jason's not going to be right there because of whatever he's feeling with Britt.
I agree with you completely. I feel like that's the direction they're trying to make her. Well, I think on some level she's always been in love with him on some level, I guess. But I think he really views her as a best friend. I just don't see the chemistry. I just feel like he views her as a best friend. And I think that he wants Britt. He wants Britt. He has his other chicks he likes. Carly lost her man. She lost her man. I think she feels like Jason is the natural successor. That's just, if she can't have Sonny, then Jason is next. She doesn't want Jax.
Yeah.
She doesn't want him. But which Jax, I think Jax still wants her on some level. That's another story. But I think that she wants Jason, and she wants to go into it. We're talking consummation of marriage and everything. That's right, kids. But he's the one who said, I want Donna to call me Jason, not call me Daddy. Sonny is her father. That's right, kids.
No, he just said, Carly, you can call me Daddy later.
Okay. He didn't say that either, Frank.
No, he did not.
No, he didn't.
No Corinthos ladies are calling me Daddy in any context.
No, of any sense. So I think this is very interesting. I agree with you, Frank, that it's going to be very much. She's going to want more, and he's not going to want it. So that's, I wish they wouldn't go there, but that's fine.
It'll just be, I'm curious to see the timing of all this and how far that gets pushed before the Sonny revelation comes out.
Yes. Oh, my favorite phrase of the show, the week: "Sisters Reformisters."
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Oh boy, thanks. And don't worry, folks. I don't enjoy the bros before hoes version.
Yes.
I dislike each phrase equally. So.
Yes, exactly. Oh God, I don't want to talk this storyline, but we have to. We have to. There are some bright lights in the storyline. Okay. Well, it's attached. So there's two storylines attached, kind of at the moment. There are the Qs versus Austin, and there's Chase versus the Qs, which are Michael and Willow. So I'll go with the parts that I possibly like. I like that Ned called a family meeting. And your girl Tracy got mentioned.
Yep.
Tracy got mentioned, so that's good use of Quartermaine. And almost corroborates the story that, but they don't know this, that Austin was telling Chase that Edward was softening up. Great use of history. They brought up the whole thing with that anecdote. That was years ago. And Eric did save Emma Drake, Scorpio Drake, with the anecdote, and he died later. But that could be that. I could see him being more sensitive all of a sudden, reaching out. That's totally possible. We didn't know anything about that was happening at that time. So great use of history. I almost forgot about all that. But Ned was like, if this is true, we should allow him in. And Olivia was wet. She was wet. She was just like, oh my goodness, you're the man I've been waiting for. She was standing there. She was so happy. Oh, Olivia, she was so happy to hear him be more Lila-like and less Edward-like. What do you think, Frank?
I like that. The only thing,
and
again, it has to do with so many people on the canvas. Wally Kurth also working on days as well.
Yes.
That we very rarely get to see it's like the Ned and Olivia thing. They could get back together, and I mean, we haven't really seen any of that either, other than these occasional like little blips. So ugh, we didn't really see the dissolution of their marriage. We're not really going to see the coming back of their marriage. So yeah, and that's just as much as I'd like to see, them doing more scenes with Ned and Olivia. I also know it's not just going to be a reality. So yeah, I have to just take the scraps that I get.
Yes. But she was happy. She was like, you're getting there. He's like, I know I'm not there yet, but she was getting there too, I think. She was getting all excited.
Yeah, she was.
Like, she's
She's
staring
getting
at
a case of the vapors. There you go.
she was like, yes.
But
But
yeah,
yes,
but I agree. I thought that was, for Ned. I mean, showed his character growth there as well as being the kind of patriarch of the Quartermain family. Just like, yeah, I mean, maybe we need to consider this. And it was interesting that everyone else kind of like, well, did he say it explicitly though, or that he was just wanted to kind of, reconnect. So that seemed to be like the out for everybody, and which made it interesting that Ned was so quick. Just to, to kind of go like, okay, well, then that's what you guys say. We're going, but it was you guys open that door. I'm just following you through. All right.
Yes. But see, so you have that part of the story, which is cool, and the Quartermain. I love seeing Quartermains all talking. You have Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn and Michael's relationship. I love Brooklyn anyway, having her around anyways. It's great. But of course, we're relegated talking about him and Willow. I know. I was like, yeah, exactly. So she's calling him out.
Yeah,
she's calling him out. She's just like, yep. She's calling him out. You guys are together, aren't you? I mean, like, let's stop playing. What does this mean for Chase? She's like, what does this mean for Chase? Michael can answer.
No, there is. I mean, realistically, there is no reason for the storyline to continue.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the show is dragging it out for whatever they want to get some kind of impact in some other storylines. Okay, great. And I mean, I felt like this week, at least with Austin's agenda, you could see why they set it up that he was the one that saw Chase take the first steps, and you can kind of build the story that way. Okay, whatever. It's just we're dragging the story out, and we'll get Chase trying to do some snooping around the Quartermain mansion and Edward's, study.
Yes.
But it's just, it's that we're dragging out this damn long. We're just dragging it out. It shouldn't then he has to take 5 steps. Then he has to take 5 steps, and then as soon as he takes that, I'm gonna tell him the truth. Like, why? Why wait till then? Like, so you think Chase is not gonna take 5 steps if you told him now? He's not going to. It's just he's gonna want to walk. He's gonna want to walk, regardless if you're with him or not.
I know.
It's just so crazy.
But see, the storyline is getting crazier and crazier. What's about the home? Well, I'll tell this part because before we get into the other part, I think it's hilarious. It's just ridiculous. Yes. So she's her first day of shadowing as an intern. She is student nurse Tate, not where Chase's last name is, or Quartermain. And made that very clear. Our buddy Felix is back with mentions of Epiphany, being on vacation still. Felix trying to play the role of Epiphany, which was kind of fun. Him and Elizabeth kind of reminiscing about their early years. Nice, that was cute. That part that's fine. I'll take Willow that way. That's fine. Just good. But then we go back to the other part of the storyline, and you got Austin egging on Chase.
Ugh. And it's so frustrating because at least they wrote Chase smart enough to realize what Austin was trying to do.
Yes.
Like, you're just trying to, how are you any different? You're using me as much as, Michael and Willow are using.
Exactly.
But he's still, at the end, like when he has the perfect opportunity to also tell Willow, hey, guess what? I saw you guys. I know what's up. Why don't we just end this? No, I'm going to just, sit on it for a little while and maybe I'll just do some snooping. Who knows?
Sit on it. Yeah, exactly. The 70s term, folks, for the show. Popular show. Yeah, I just. Are you okay? I'm not okay. Right. But he doesn't. Oh, Chase's last name is Chase. I think it's Harrison Chase. I should know my middle name is Harrison. I should remember that. Yes, I just. That's how tired the storyline. To me, the storyline makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense at all because they're trying to write it as if he's your best buddy. He's your best buddy. They all have a history already of this interweaving thing already. They already have this history. The history is already there. He liked her. That's already there. They broke up because Chase did a lie with Sasha. Boom. That's already there. But his whole thing of now trying to play it like, well, and even though he kept saying, Willow has always had feelings for him. She wouldn't do this otherwise. She's not a hoe or anything, but he didn't say that. But basically, what he's saying, she's not a hoe. So for him to get angry, it's just like, no, just end the marriage. And then Austin's like, no, go out with a bang. And everything. And I was just like, and he said, well, what's this benefit? Why do you care so much?
Yeah.
That's what he said. He told him, I need you to do my dirty work, basically. Help get justice for me. And now his angle, this part was kind of clever. His angle now is go after Michael.
Yeah.
Willow's whatever. We'll go after Michael, so to speak. But even that's still dumb because it's the whole thing is so dumb all around.
Yeah. No. And how is it going? Yeah, it's going after Michael. You, Chase, went after Michael in the sense when you decided to tell that big old lie at the beginning. Yes. So it's, yeah.
I know. So the storyline just frustrates me because I feel like they're trying to do a regular soap staple, but I feel like in this situation it doesn't really work. It's not set up really that way, but they're trying to set it up that way. I just think it's not gonna. I mean, yeah. So,
yeah, it's
I
don't know. There's. I understand you want to milk the drama and draw this out for as long as possible, but maybe if they would have thought of some better reason with Chase. Jem's already became bored with my point.
Okay, I became bored. I'm bored with the storyline. I'm so bored with the storyline.
If the way of extending it was to have it be like Chase has to be able to walk again, I think that was the poor decision.
Right.
Because the stakes of that are so low that I still can't buy that they wouldn't say anything to him.
Well, the thing is, he even said himself, he goes, so I know she married me because she thought I was dying.
Yeah.
Like it's not a secret. It's like basically it kind of came out. Like, he knows nobody's dumb in the situation. So it's kind of like,
yeah, everybody just say it, guys. Just say it.
Say it. Cheese and crackers. But yeah, I hate the storyline. Say that. But a storyline that has promise, I just wish she wasn't involved. So Naomi says the wrong middle name, Abigail.
Yeah.
And meets with a guy. I think it's a guy.
Yes.
You see the shoes all the way up to like midsection. Who is that, do you think?
I mean, people are saying Victor Cassadine. And that could possibly be Charles Shaughnessy is going to come in play instead of Theo.
Yeah. Oh, because Teo Pangolus is on days right now.
Yeah. So they're thinking it could be a little recast.
I love Teo. Teo's my buddy. I love Teo. That's interesting. Okay, because they showed this. They didn't show the face. But she gave some clues away apparently.
Yeah.
But you got Sam on the case. And I there's one person I trust. Oh, you trust Dante all of a sudden. Oh, okay.
Yeah, great. I mean, at least the conversation between Jordan and Sean, I at least appreciated. Where
I too.
Since echoing what I thought last week with his conversation with Ava, it's like give Sean something else to do in addition to the hunting of the true culprit behind Hayden shooting, because I can't stand every scene about Sean's like, it's got to be about Hayden and the shooting.
I agree. I love seeing Sean on the cameras. Yeah. Poor Taggart, he's not around these days, but
no. I mean, and so I can see why perhaps the actress who was originally playing Naomi did not come back. Like, I'm not going to come back for my, just a couple scenes and I'm out.
Yeah, and of course Finn was nearby.
Oh, of course.
What happened? It had to show up. So Naomi, she's gone. Bye. Thanks for the memories. And Sam and Dante and Sean on the case, apparently. and now Jordan thrown in.
How much I wish Sam was not part of this. Because
Me
you're right,
too.
it could be an intriguing storyline, but with Sam in there, it's not going to be as good as it could be.
I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, they have her on there. And Elizabeth's on the outskirts of it, kind of. I think maybe involve her more in it. But this whole Violet thing, I tell Violet the grandmother's dead and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's something, but we'll do it together.
Well, and I mean, supposedly, Cameron Matheson makes his phone call to Sam on Monday. So whether I don't know if that is going to be all tied in as well to the Victor Cassadine stuff, or just happens to be kind of running it parallel to it.
Now I invite like Victor Castine. I invited you. I invite all that. I mean, that's just I invite all of that.
Yeah.
And I just I need more than Sam in this situation. And why they're panning to her all the time on the camera.
Oh, I don't need that.
I was like, I'm like, okay. So, but it's an intriguing story about Hayden. Like this is good. They're picking up where they left off. And I hope you find out where Hayden is. I think Hayden's being kidnapped. I think she's been kidnapped. And that's why she's away from her family.
I would be curious to see if it even ties back into the Holly stuff too. Because I mean, we never saw who
Holly is being kidnapped too. She's in a facility.
Yeah.
I know Emma Sam's in Europe. That's why she said no to come over because of COVID. But I know we haven't seen Robert in a while either. So I think that's gonna be interesting too. I like umbrella stories. I love umbrella stories. I do. I love them if they're done right. And certain folks are under the umbrella. We left out in the rain. I don't care. But yeah, Drew coming back to be interesting too. And Peter's still out there, folks. It pains me to say it. It pains me literally pains me to say it. I have a headache saying it. He's out there still.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different factors going on. And if Victor Castine comes back, there's a whole thing with Nicholas and Spencer. I mean, it affects that whole world. And
no, that's true. I mean, and you feel like Drew's got some issues with Peter as well. So that's a nice thing to be able to bring him back. And I mean, Peter's got to be alive for not only Anna and Valentine to have some justice, but also Drew as well.
I remember, I was talking all the time. So Drew was with Sam until she got with Jason. So that'll be very interesting to see. And they have a child together. They have Scout together. So they have a child. So that'll be very interesting. So now remember, Drew was friends with Franco. Franco is now dead. So it'll be interesting to see how he reacts to that. Because there's a whole connection. And when he sees Austin, will there be some kind of they'll be cousins now. Will there be some kind of something?
Yeah, I am hoping it's just, the bond between Drew and Sam just remains that, hey, we are co-parents to Scout.
Yeah.
And we have that connection between us, but it's not going to get back to the romantic stuff. Because really, what's the point of playing at the Dante stuff?
Right.
I don't which I don't need to ever see another scene where they discuss a meeting of their, parents that have kids. Let's have a meeting about that. We can sell merchandise. James, good to see you wearing one of their shirts.
As I am wearing one of their shirts. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
One of Dante and Sam's special club shirts.
Folks, what are their names? I mean, what are their relationship name? I don't even know what it is. I don't like them so much. I just know Liaison and Frizz and all those. I don't know what their names. Is it Latte?
Has anybody? I don't. Not that I'm like up. My fingers never really on the pulse of couples' names, but I also feel like I haven't been like seeing anybody like really cheering on the Sam and Dante pairing.
I haven't. I've seen it in chat room today too. There's like they have too many siblings in common. They're raised like in the same family, so to speak. I mean, it's very interesting.
Yeah,
I see no chemistry between them. I see zero chemistry. So I saw, for me, again, it's almost like Peter and Maxie. I saw no chemistry, and that's what bugged me. It's like, I don't see chemistry. I mean, some couples have major chemistry, and some have zero. And you can try to push them together because you want them together, but The audience is not dumb. Soap fans aren't dumb. They get it. They know when someone has it and someone doesn't. And that's why I haven't seen anybody rooting for them either. And nobody rooting for them. They get it. They get it.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they get it. Did we miss anything, Frank?
We did not. No, not much Valentine this week, though.
No. You got a little break from Valentine. No Valentine this week. There's a little bit of everybody. A little bit of everybody had some scenes. A little bit of everybody had some stuff going on. But we did, but I think we got all of it this time, you guys, folks. This is your GH3 Spotlight and Recap. Frank Moran, they can't see you. They can only see your frozen face.
Yes.
But tell them they can find you on social media.
Find me on Twitter and Instagram, folks, at HappyGoJackie.
Yes. And you and everybody else can follow me where all James Lott Jr. is sold. At James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. And the person who I got that from, Alexis Torres, turns 31 this weekend. I want to give a shout out to Alexis. We both know Alexis. I want to give a shout out to Alexis. She's beautiful. She's living in outside of Philadelphia. I want to give her a huge happy birthday kiss and hug, a virtual kiss and hug. She's the one I got that phrase from 7 years ago. So thank you, Alexis Torres. Happy birthday to you. Sante. Oh, Sante fans are out there to say, Frank. There are some Sante fans.
No.
Terry Kendall says there are. She says there are. And Terry Kendall, of course, has the Port Misery. We did a show yet recently. But no, she says there are. She said beware. Beware of what? I don't beware of what. I'm not afraid of them.
They're going to come for us. That's why.
Nathan Bank goes, yes, Terry, they are, unfortunately, LOL. I'm like, I haven't seen any. So I'm like shocked. I really haven't seen any. I'm like, I don't know. But we thank you so much for watching us and listening to us all the time. Thanks to all the Facebook groups. Let me share this with them, all the GH Facebook groups. There's like 20 of you guys. Thank you so much. Shout out to GH Canada. Love you guys. General Hospital Fanatics. Thank you so much. We love doing the show. It's a lot of fun. And we make fun of it. We make fun of it, but it's fun. We have a good time doing it. All right, please have a great week. And I don't care if you get mad at me or not, but get vaccinated.
Yes.
Get vaccinated. Wear a mask. Shit.
Nancy Lee Grant, I love you.